Day, everyone. Yeah, not good evening. It's still day here. But we're going to go over a build for the Guardian. Yes, the Guardian. And we're going to be focusing on Herald of Purity and Dominating Blow. Why make minions when you can have holy minions? I mean, you don't have to raise them or anything. You got a lot of utility as well. Typically, you do run Hatred with Herald of Purity. I'm running Aspect of the Avian, which will become a lot more available in the coming patch, I would think, anyways. Who knows how they're going to gate the crafting for Aspect of the Avian on the rings. It's really nice. Gives minions bonus damage, aka double the damage, because who doesn't want double the damage? Um, the Sackawol's Nest provides 100% buff effect. So rather than 10% chance to deal double damage, you're doing 20% chance to deal double damage, which is really good. The gloves here, they give you a nice boost as well in flat damage. And when you have this, it also affects your allies. So your allies get all this flat damage as well. Really good damage. I wouldn't say it's the top end, since most of our minion damage is going to be focused on physical. We will want Grip of the Council, because Grip of the Council just is more hatred. So for reference here, hatred, you get 35% of your physical damage is extra cold at level 20. Oh, is it level 20? I forgot. No, level 19. I lied. Anyways, I think it goes up to 37 at level 21. We can always check that later. But the gist of this here is you smack things with Dominating Blow. They get a mark. And when they die, you get minions from them. You take them over. They're not converted. They just get replaced. And their bodies get destroyed. So like no volatile dead or rude things like that. Because you don't like volatile dead chasing you around. The build actually uses a lot of cheap items. It's very build like item friendly. I wouldn't say this is cheap per se, but it's not hard to get triple resistance and life. As an abyssal belt, or sorry, a Stygian Vise, it's maybe a bit more expensive. You can craft it yourself. Nobody's stopping you. We're gonna have fossils again. Hooray! That's some great stuff. The build is very skill intense. So you need a lot of auras and a lot of buttons. But if you micromanage it, you can fit it in your 7 available slots. This is always move only. It's never going to be anything else, unfortunately. Here we have, for Dominating Blow, it's melee physical damage, because we want the minions to do more damage. It's not even level 20. It still does a great job. Melee Splash. Now you can do Ancestral Call over Melee Splash, but it's just typically better for your minions to have Melee Splash over Ancestral Call, because they benefit from this and not so much Ancestral Call. Empower, now this isn't actually doing anything for me right now. I was just leveling it with the character, but Empower does make the minions better. It is ultimately a great link for Dominating Blow and Herald of Purity. Strictly just, in a shield here, you can get like a good amount from this. I believe up to level 26 if you get a +1 socketed gems in Victario's Charity, which also is not expensive. That's a good thing about the build, is overall prices. Your chaos ceiling is not that high. You're not investing a lot, and you can do pretty much most of the content. You can do everything if put a little bit more money in it, but that just goes to say for everything. But the investment is not so much, and if you like playing minion builds, this is your way to go. I am capped on all my resistances here, so you see there. I just have this thing with the minion movement speed for the necklace. It's good to have it. You do want your minions to move faster. Your convocation has a cooldown, unfortunately, and sometimes they just can't keep up. Helmet. I have this. I just self-crafted. It could be better. What ultimately you want, socketed gems are supported by minion damage, and socketed gems are supported by concentrated effect. This is where you put your specters. Really good, because they have the burning damage. I'm using spellcaster specters. They're the Vol ones you can get from the temple now, which is coming back as well. Or if you're doing Val outposts in your delve, you can actually encounter them there. Raise the fire one, because the fire one works well with the burning damage. And they have ridiculous amounts of HP. Like, ridiculous. I think, like, the ones I have right now, they're like 30,000 HP. They're more tanky than my animated guardian. Animated guardian is just for basic buffs. You can customize it as you want. Always good to have. You can use Crown of the Tyrant, Learcast, sorry, things like that. Really useful. Stat-wise, you will be hurting for dexterity. I mean, I'm using this, so like dexterity is not that much of a problem. But I mean, I still have the ring for dexterity. I have turquoise amulet for dexterity. Intelligence is not an issue. You're gonna have a lot. As you can see, I have more than my strength. So not a big deal there. Soul Taker is great. You have the attack speed for it. And, you run out of mana. It's not a big deal. I have a bit more mana than normal because I have items such as this. Reduce mana reserved. Reduce mana reserved. And it's on my skill tree. 6%, 4%, 4%. That's a lot. That's 14 there. 24. I have 28. You can get 5 more on your neck, but I would eventually aim to do a Elder Amulet with using Bound Fossils to get +1 Spectres. Once you can get Aspect of the Avian on a ring, then you will actually get rid of these because these aren't great. You don't need it. Honestly, you don't have to use it. You don't really need Aspect of the Avian. You can use Arctic Armor. Replace Smite here, put Arctic Armor, and with your Generosity and your Enlightened support, and there you go, you're golden. Now the great thing about Soul Taker is insufficient mana does not prevent your melee attacks. This is a melee attack, this is a melee attack, buffs all my minions with lightning damage. I got Dominating Blow. I can go and not care. Pretty good stuff. Flask-wise, this is just for jokes. You don't need it. I personally like to have a Basalt Flask, reduced damage. Damage reduction is always great. You do want a Silver Flask for Onslaught. Attack speed is just really just too good to pass up. Dodge is really good. Someone on Reddit posted a direct comparison to having dodge versus blocking, etc. There's no reason not to have dodge. Plus it has phasing. You can drop aggro. You can walk around. Your minions can do whatever they want, and they're not going to bother you. That's important, right? You phase. Once you're phased, minion mobs just will ignore you. I'm not sure if the Flask is going to have the same nerf as Phase Run is getting. Phase Run is going from 80% noticeability to 50%. So reduced visibility, sorry. So we can go from that. Not 100% certain there, but we'll see, right? And yeah, Realm is restarting soon. We got 20 minutes to mess around. Let's get this in here. We're going to make it a tier 15 Christ Crypt, because why not? Why Christ Crypt? No reason. We're just doing a Christ Crypt. So there it is. My army's out already. Alright, go around. Just pwn stuff. Have some fun. Now the great thing about getting the rare mobs here is you get their abilities for your minions. So any quick auras, your mobs will have them as well. Including the Invincibility aura, which is really good. Right? And you just go around, kill your stuff, get your minions. They last for a decent amount of time because I have more than 50% increased the duration for on the tree alone. You do not need the increased duration gem. It's not necessary. You just go with what you have and just keep going. Xana, I'm gonna ignore her. Don't need to do her. I'm just gonna go for the boss. No, thanks. If you ever see something like that, they want your headhunter and they want to trade some what seems to be a crazy item, say no. They can get currency, they can afford it. Okay? Do not get scammed. This is actually a great example of not getting scammed. Don't do it. Be polite, say no thanks, you know, and move on. Now, what I just used here, I should have used it earlier because I was too busy talking, is Flesh Offering. It sacrifices corpses on the ground, and what it does is just gives your minions Bloodlust. We're just going to call it Bloodlust because I'm sure a lot of you played WoW at some point. We're not going to call it Heroism. No, no, no. Horde for life. Just kidding. I actually started Alliance, but I went back. I went to Horde. I went to Horde and stuck with Horde. So boss is dead. That's, you know, pretty much the premise there. I got my minions. Most of them still alive. Now, the nice thing about Herald of Purity here is when you hit a rare unique, it can summon the sentinels for you, which is nice. You don't have to kill the enemies to get the sentinels. Same with Dominating Blow, hitting a unique monster. Well, this one specifically says unique monster. Now, unfortunately, you can't do this with rares, or this one rare or unique. Okay, so bear with me here. Sometimes, you know, you're just gonna be stabbing some rare guy until he dies so you can get those sentinels, but it's not a huge deal. You're actually gonna get them as fast as you saw me get them. But yeah, now, you know what, talking about this, I'm gonna provide the Path of Building link here. It's not fully done. It's only level 74. Not that far ahead here. I didn't have so much time in the past week and a half as I promised to build for Betrayal. To do that, you get a lot of access to a lot of life. Here's your increased duration and increased duration. So yeah, I have more than 20%. That's, man, that's a lot. 45, 90. I got 90% increased duration just from the tree alone. You do not need the gem. You'll get there and that's it. Like, your folks will last long enough to get through the whole map, honestly, if you're fast enough. The boots, 30% speed, could go faster, obviously. Obviously can go faster here. Abyss Jewels, you know, you actually going to want attack speed because you Spiritual Aid gives you minion damage. So all your Abyss Jewels that have minion damage, or when you use a minion skill, this is tagged as minion, by the way. Minion right there. So when you use a minion skill, those Abyss Jewels that say you get 15 to 20% increased minion damage, that affects you too. It's great to have. And then right here is increases and reductions to minion attack speed also affect you. You can double dip. Like, all your Ghastly Eyes is going to have attack speed, life to you, increased minion damage, more minion damage on skill use. If you want your minions to taunt, they can blind, they can do a lot of stuff for you. It's really good to have. You have a lot of viability here. You just got to stay on the ball. Now, my problem here is I think the Guardian Ascendancy is a little bit pigeonholed. I mean, I don't like this. I mean, you can see right here. Like, where's the regen? And then it's gone. It's a second. You get 1 second of that beautiful regen every 5 seconds. So uptime is, you know, downtime is 4 seconds, right? The block is nice, but again, it's gone. There it goes, you know? Yes, you do get block from doing your attack or casting a spell. Get your spell block from there. Again, the uptime on that is anything far from great. You know, like you got 5 seconds, and anyone familiar with tanking or stuff like that, you're going to take a lot of chip damage, and then all of a sudden you're just going to get smacked because all that huge amount of like damage avoidance or mitigation you had is just gone, right? This is good to have. A lot of the mana is reserved, but I mean, if you do the math, I do have a base amount of shield. You will get more. Flat life, in this sense, is always better to have. I mean, you can drop time of need. Removing curses and ailments, honestly, it's not going to affect you too much. You get heat, staunching, warding. Your flasks cover most of this, right? And if the map has a mod on it, it's just going to come right back right away. I mean, it's just not that great. This can be interesting to play with, but, you know, you can always drop Time of Need and Bastion of Hope. And honestly, just take Radiant Faith and get Endurance Charges. Endurance Charges, you're going to have 3 maximum for now, unless you want to get, like, Endurance Charge from the tree here. You can get that if you want. Not a big deal. But I think that's 6% mitigation, I believe. Where are you? Yeah, no, physical maintenance, so 4%, that's 12. That's a lot of mitigation, right? I mean, you can't say don't to that, and all your minions get that. They stay alive. But you know what? We can go Guardian, and we do get nice, you know, sentinel nodes from Guardian. But do we want to stay as a Guardian? I mean, I feel like these nodes are nice. Like, our minions have Intimidate for us. They do a lot of nice stuff. They have Crusader Slam, which is really good DPS. You know? But do we want to actually stay as a Guardian? You know what? There's another option. There's actually another option. So what we're going to do is throw all these in here. We're actually going to throw all these in. That's right. We're just doing this because why not? We just want to have fun, all right? We'll put that in here. That. We're gonna ignore the char. It's just for shiggles. All right. Now, what we can do is we can play a champion. And the nice thing is the champion is getting a new ascendancy. All right. And that ascendancy is really nice. So I'm going to bring it in over here. Alright, we're going to zoom out, go right in here. I mean, I have inspirational chosen here on the path of building, but when you feel you have enough, like your enhanced gems are leveled up, you can drop this because you don't have to bloat too much on auras or thing. It does seem nice. You do get more effect of your auras, but this is just too good. I mean, for your minions, for yourself, I mean, you could just smack things around, and that flat damage adds up. All right, it's just too good. Like, you're gonna get really good flat damage out of that, and your minions get that, and everything adds up, and you're all of a sudden all the multipliers are adding up, and this is really good, right? On top of this, you taunt, right? You have more mitigation from taunt, right? They don't evade your attacks, so you don't need resolute technique. You don't have to even spec down there anymore, right? You have good evasion, good armor, and then you have attack speed while having fortify, more melee damage while having fortify, and you cannot be stunned. I mean, that's great, not being stunned, right? Now, how do you maintain fortify? Well, right here, we're going to drop fortify and support, turn this into a green, red, green, and we're going to use a gem that's actually underused, right? Not a lot of people use it. If I can spell. Where are you? Oh, there. It's a red. Sorry. We don't have to drop any colors. Now, this is a cooldown use skill. Whatchamacallit? It's just really good, but there is a jewel that gives you fortify for you and your allies. So let's look that up. I could actually be looking at the wrong gem altogether, because I don't think we should be getting hit. Just trying to remember. No, sorry, it's Vigilant Strike. There we go. I should know what I'm talking about before I do this, but whatever, we're gonna go. Grants melee, fortify a melee hit, and it has a cooldown, right? So, Vigilant Strike has a threshold jewel that we will use. So, the Vigil. With at least 40 strength in the radius, fortifies you and your nearby allies for 12 seconds. 12 seconds. The cooldown on this, 4 seconds. Let's be honest here. You only have to cast this every 8 seconds. If you really want to. You can cast it every 12 seconds. You don't have to use it often. That's alright, not even casting it, you just use the skill. You just swing once and everything's got fortify. So your fortify uptime is already there. So you don't need this node. Like, it's nice, but you don't need it. It's very easy to get fortified. Don't do it. But cannot be stunned, more melee damage, more attack speed. You can't go wrong. I mean, the attack speed itself is just beautiful, right? So leveling as a champion, right? We're gonna start. We're gonna start with attack speed and accuracy. So we're gonna go path this way. We want the life and we want the evasion. We also want this attack speed, and then we're gonna get Art of the Gladiator. Okay, then we're gonna move up and get these. Now, if you're going to be casting any spells early or things like that, these are useful to have. You don't need them per se. I mean, if you're good at managing what you have, it's fine, right? But we'll just go with this for now. So we go there. We get damage from having a shield like that this way. Because we don't need more defenses on the shield. Because most of our shield are armor. It's not a lot of mitigation from it, unfortunately. Alright, and we want the life here and the regen. And we're not going to take the jewel socket yet. We don't need it right now. And we're going to go to the right and we're going to grab these resist nodes. I mean, they're very useful. It's going to help you cap your res a lot more, which gives you more options, and honestly, you have less money that you need to drop on the character in terms of resists and items in general. It helps a lot more. I think, honestly, Champion is probably the better approach than going Guardian for going Dominating Blow and with its Sentinels. I got 5 minutes to wrap this up. Alright, let's go. Alright, now we're going to go this way. Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. I know, right? Easily distracted. Thank you. And goodbye. Alright, continuing. Alright, we're going to go this way. Again, ignore the jewel slot. Right? Now, I did not pick up Berserking, but you do want it. You do need it. Alright? And this is nice to have, so we're going to grab this, and then we're going to stop. We're going to continue through all the way through. Now we're getting our intelligence, right? So as you can see, our intelligence is going up, and we're going to be able to start doing a lot of minion stuff. Right, and then right over here, get those, because more life, more mana regen, more life regen is good. Continue. Get that. Get this. Now, it would be faster to get to these nodes here by going this way, but we also need these nodes. Well, need is relative, but we're gonna go this way up here, and then we're gonna not get these yet because we want these juicy nodes. It's nice to have these, but you don't need them. We're gonna get Retribution. We're gonna get this because that's just way too good to pass. That's 30 flat life on top of 10% increased maximum. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. You do not need this, right? So now that we have these, we're gonna go down this way, get this, because that's good. Now we're gonna go up here, get 1, 2, because more life. We're gonna get these because we need them. And we're gonna go up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Right? Now we have more of that over here. So we've already, you know, got a whole bunch of that. This is a level 87. I got 17 points left. So at level 60, you're already set up to have most of your minions, essentially, by level 60. And assuming you finish the game. Because you got all your stuff out. 1 minute. So going with that, at this point you can start grabbing your socket nodes, because socket nodes are good to have, like that. All the easy ones. Got 5 points left, 30 seconds, and we're Gucci. So there you go. Congrats, guys. You've made your first minion build if you haven't yet. Really fun. You can't go wrong with it. You can do a lot of the content. And yeah, you know, honestly, just do it for fun, if not anything else. Okay, y'all have a good one, and good luck today. Don't betray your friends.